in science, we're talking about water. And today we're going to do a quick science experiment. If you want to follow along in your book, it's on page 148. Now, with our water, all the water in the earth is represented by these two jugs right here. So this is about 2 liters. It's about what it would be if you filled up a 2 liter of soda. Okay, so these two are about 2 liters. So this is representing all the water in the entire world. Now, the water in the world is kind of broken up between these things. Some of it is in the atmosphere. And the equivalent of what's in the atmosphere, if I take my water dropper here, it's about 1/2 of a drop. So that was 1 drop, so about half of that. That's it. That tiny little drop of water in there, that's about all of it that's in our atmosphere. Next, what's in our lakes and glaciers, that would be, in this model, represented by about 4 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. So think of Lake Michigan. All of that water in Lake Michigan, plus all of the other lakes in the entire world, is represented just by this little bit. Okay, so where in the world is most of the water? Well, we have some in the ground, and about 13 full droppers worth are in the ground. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so about this much of that water is in the ground, meaning where you can't see it. So there's all these aquifers underneath the ground and just stored in the ground and run off from rivers and streams and stuff like that. About 13 of those. Okay, so think about the world. Remember, this is a model of all the water in the entire world, all the lakes, just that tiny little bit. So there's significantly more in the ground, right? We've got a ton of this in the ground. Well, then in our glaciers, we've got about, in our model, it would be about 47 droppers worth. Okay, so I'll put this one in there and then fast forward it so you don't have to watch it count out 47 times. "44, 45, 46, 47. Okay, so if we look at this, then the water that's in the glaciers is about, this cup is about halfway full. Okay, so there's significantly more water in the glaciers. So just a tiny bit in the atmosphere, a little bit more in the lakes, right? But still not very much. A little bit in groundwater, a little bit in glaciers. Holy cow, this pitcher is still full up to here. And the other one, we haven't even touched this one. Like, this one's still full to the top. All right? So where is all that water? Well, that water is all in the ocean. In the ocean, there is way more water. By far the most water in the world is found in the oceans. All right? This chapter, we're going to study more about water. So let's get into our first lesson to learn more about water. Today we're on lesson 1. So on page 150, you can see our "You Are There." Bright sunlight gives way to rain clouds. Little splashes of water appear on the lake. Suddenly, rain is pouring down all around you. Your face and clothes are quickly soaked. Too bad you don't have waterproof feathers of a duck. Getting wet can be a bother, but what makes water so important? Lesson 1 starts on page 151. Make sure you've got your notes out. We'll start with that. That should be in your Tuesday folder. Let's get our name on the top. Here you see a picture of the water cycle. Water cycle is what we talk about when we have water from a lake or after the rain or after a stream or something where it evaporates. Then it condenses into clouds. Then it comes down as precipitation, what you think of as snow or rain. Number 1 in our notes says, water makes up blank of your total body. Why is water important? You could go without sweets or TV if you had to, but you can't give up water. You could not live more than a few days without it. Living things and water. Living things, from big trees to small snails, need water to survive and grow. Green plants need water to make food. Fish and other animals need oxygen and water to breathe. Water makes up about 2/3 of your body. Water is busy helping every part of your body. So water makes up 2/3 of your total body. That's a ton. Okay, how does water help your body? For example, water helps digest food into small particles. Water in your blood carries materials to every part of your body. Water also carries waste away from every part. Water helps keep your body at the correct temperature. What if the air temperature turns cold? Water in your body tends to hold on to its heat, keeping you warm. If your body heats up, you might sweat. The water in sweat carries heat away from your body. So, we have some different things that water helps your body do. Helps digest food. Two, it helps carry materials. Helps get rid of waste. And it helps with your temperature. Right? If you get hot, you start sweating. Right? That helps. That's all has to do with water. 3, how does water help farmers? Some organisms must spend their whole lives in water. Many of these creatures are very small. Daphnia, for example, are less than 1.5 millimeters long. That would be about that big. Daphnia live mostly in ponds and lakes. The uses of water. People use water in many ways. This is on page 152. Lakes, rivers, and oceans supply us with fish and shellfish. Farmers use water to help make crops grow. Some of this water falls from the sky, but some flows through pipes to fields. So how does water help farmers? It helps their plants grow. How does water help make electricity? People use the power of moving water to make electricity. They build dams and power stations across rivers. Rushing water turns giant wheels inside turbines. Turbines help make electricity. This electricity can travel long distances through wires. How does it help make electricity? Water moves turbines. And those turbines help to create power, like you can see here. This water comes from this reservoir, and it comes down here, it turns this turbine, which generates power so that when you plug something into your outlet, it works. How does water help goods move from place to place? We also use water for transportation and enjoyment. Large ships carry goods from one place to another. Some people row on ponds or sail across oceans. Others go tubing, or swimming, or canoeing. People can have fun in the water. How does water help goods move from place to place? Large ships carry them. So here you can see a chart that shows you some of those uses of water. Drinking, right? People need to drink water. All animals need water too. This impala slurps up a drink. The tiny bird on its horn will have some too. Then you have food. Water provides food, right? There's a fishing boat. Seaweed can sometimes bring food as well. Crops and farms. Many parts of the world, farmers irrigate land. They bring water to it. Okay, so this is irrigation that is coming out of the ground to help those plants grow. Industry, factories use water in many different ways. It's used to clean foods. It's used to make paper and steel. And then electricity, water is used to make electricity. There's an example of some of those turbines in a dam that are helping to make power. All right, that's where we'll stop for today. Make sure you tuck your notes in your book so you can keep them safe for tomorrow when we pick it up with our notes.